From the depths of Atlantis to the peaks of New Genesis, blasting at you with more energy than the central power battery on Oa. Whether you fly, drive a futuristic tricked out car, or run at supersonic speeds, it's time to get comfy and listen to the #1 rated live stream on Themyscira. This is the Retro Review.
Nice.
Alrighty, what's up, guys? Welcome to Fanboys Live on the Retro Review. Yeah, yeah. So I, of course, am Tim the Comic Collector, and I guess I'll let everybody introduce themselves clockwise. So you'd be up, Tony.
Oh, geez. All right, I am Tony Fett. I'm the newest member to this ensemble cast of characters. I have my own YouTube channel. It's just Tony Fett, like it says at the bottom of my screen. You can find me on Instagram as well, at Tony Fett Talks. I primarily do interviews, so if you haven't checked me out, please do, and hang out because I got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
All right, I guess
that's it. I'm out.
So, hi, I'm Dave. Comic Fu 2814. You can find me on YouTube or Instagram. I do a lot of mystery box unboxings, comic book related, and my comic hauls each week. And yeah, Russ.
Yeah, Superrus 9000. I'm completely unprepared for self-promotion. I've been doing a video a day series for February. Tomorrow's is a Bam Presto statue.
Yeah, your videos have been really good, and I think it was day 3 or 4 you did a best of TikTok.
Yeah.
And my wife has just recently become aware of TikTok. I think she binged your videos for like an hour and a half, 2 hours last night watching them all.
Yeah, I saw like a list of notifications that long.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
That's funny.
Like I was saying, I am Tim, and I just basically do comic hauls, and something new I'm doing that I finally got to do because it's been snowing for a month is live hunts. I'm just going to go live wherever I am and let you guys look with me, and if I get anything like yesterday, I'll do a haul video later.
Nice.
Definitely. So let's check the chat.
Yeah, dude, check this out. Thanks to Russ, we finally got Metarog joining us here.
Oh my god.
So we got ATM Fallout Boy, Unruly Simeon.
Hey guys.
I just did a video for his contest. He's having a contest if anyone isn't aware of it. Yep. And that
he's just here for Russ.
And Superrus is in the chat.
And Superrus is in the chat. So, real quick, because I know we want to get through a good chunk of this book tonight. I do want to talk about a couple things news-wise. Did you guys hear about Generation Zero?
Fill us in, man.
Yeah.
I read a little bit of an article, and I guess throwing a ton of details out, but I guess the solicitation for DC's Free Comic Book Day is introducing us to Generation Zero, which I guess is the buffer before 5G, or maybe the reaction to fan backlash to 5G.
Oh.
And I just know this new comic book day, it has the story from Wonder Woman that's set in like World War II, where at the end, did you guys read Wonder Woman 750?
Yes.
Well,
I haven't read it.
They sort of set up Generation 1 because there's a story with her in World War II, and at the end she's given a speech, and one of those people in the crowd listening, to all of us he's known as Alan Scott, to Dave he's known as Alan Grant. He's sitting there with his power ring, and it's sort of setting up the beginnings of the Justice Society.
My God. So,
yeah, for those of you who don't know, that's a semi-inside joke that Dave mispronounced his name one video.
No,
I haven't let him live it down.
2 videos in a row.
Yeah. So, I don't know a ton of details about it, but that's what I heard that's coming up.
Yeah, 5G has not been exciting to read about. A lot of fans are pretty against it.
I'm not even paying attention to it right now. I'm not happy.
Yeah, it's worth it not to pay attention to it.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually starting to go into like I've talked about this before, how I go through like phases like of my collecting, and I can see that I'm starting to like change phases again, where I'm not going to go quite as gung-ho as I have been, and I'm going to start just maybe doing a little bit more quality over quantity, so save up a little bit more.
Yeah, since Rebirth hit, I've been like solid every week. Like I need it all, but I think this is gonna make me take a big step back for sure.
From Rebirth, even for much of the new 52, but definitely with Rebirth, I've been hitting it hard, and it's too much.
Yeah.
The collection's growing too fast, and I'm just not sure that it's necessarily the books that I'm most interested in.
Mrs. Comic Collector?
Yeah, she's actually at work tonight. So it's me and the kids tonight.
Oh.
Hey, Squatchy.
Yeah, and Squatchy's here.
You can't talk about her anymore because she's listening now.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, look, notice how Squatchy shows up as soon as somebody does a Foo's a furry.
Yeah.
I'm on to you.
Is that like a Squatchinati thing? Is that one of his henchmen?
Yeah, I think so. You should know.
Me?
Yeah,
hey,
you.
Like I said in your on the Mystery Men chat, you probably saw my one comment but didn't see the next one. I cheer and tease for all the Mystery Men evenly.
That's too funny.
Yeah. And
that's good.
I have 3 bits of news.
Look at Metarog. He was
on your first sub, oh my goodness.
That's
man.
Good. I love
it. Yep. I don't think she'll do anything on YouTube, but she is thinking about doing a TikTok. Nice. So we'll see.
You're welcome. That's right up your alley, man.
Yeah. But I have 3 bits of news, but before I just throw them all out there, is anything anyone here wants to talk about?
Something cool to talk about for everyone to go check out on their own is some of the new stills coming from the Suicide Squad movie. Scoogie Squad. It's the Italian version. Scoogie Squad. But no, there's some really cool stills of, especially of Idris Elba from the new Suicide Squad movie. Everybody go look at them. It's kind of neat. We still have no idea what character he is, but you can see his costume.
So is Margie Radu? I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah, Harley Quinn. Yeah, she's in the movie.
She's gonna be. No idea how to pronounce.
Just say Harley Quinn.
It's like what's in this soda?
Yeah, right. They're saying it's not a sequel, but yet they bring back more than half of the original cast. How is it not a sequel?
Is Will Smith coming back as Deadshot?
No, because anyone who knows and reads Suicide Squad, the roster changes, every kind of issue. There's some key elements that stay the same, but and they kept Captain Boomerang's coming back, Harley Quinn's coming back. Yeah, I thought he was so cool. Captain Boomerang was awesome in that movie.
I didn't think that movie was bad. It was a decent movie. I just wish they wouldn't have had
back as Amanda Waller. They got Rick Flag is coming back.
Okay.
What about Katana?
I don't think so.
Really? I liked her.
Yeah.
As a cool character.
It was a good movie. I just thought they shouldn't have shoehorned Joker and the Batman into it. It could have been a fine movie on its own.
The Joker part was dumb. I didn't like the bad guy at the end. Like the second half of the movie, I could have done without.
Well, did you hear what it was supposed to be? Like the Suicide Squad was supposed to be before they backtracked big time. It was Suicide Squad was supposed to set up Justice League.
Oh.
The Enchantress was supposed to have a mother box, and she was supposed to call parademons.
Oh, they were going to try to do like a Marvel thing, huh?
Yeah, Suicide Squad was supposed to fight Steppenwolf, and Steppenwolf was supposed to lose, and he was going to hit the panic button, which was going to call Darkseid.
Yeah,
and
that would have been better.
That would have been so good.
Right? Doesn't that make so much more sense? And Justice League was supposed to fight Darkseid.
What? That would have been awesome. I would have loved that.
That sounds
Right?
so much better.
Yeah, and I guess they did keep some of the original scenes. If you look real closely, you can see like silhouettes of a mother box, but they made it look just like shrapnel or something now. But
Hey Tim, there's a request for you in the chat. Metarog.
oh, what'd he say?
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw him say this to me on my live hunt. I say amalgam. And when I got home, I had to think about it for a while. And I'm like, it's probably amalgam.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've been saying amalgam for so long. I'm just sticking with it.
Can't change it.
Yeah. But one quick thing before we move on.
Alan
Have you
Grant
noticed?
will always be my favorite Green Lantern.
Exactly. All of the DC movies that are sort of looked down upon went with sort of a weird, giant CG type monster
Yeah.
that was like bigger than it needs to be. Like Enchantress was this big thing. Doomsday, Parallax. Just stick to maybe another human or something.
No, you're right. The Doomsday, the you that's what MCU got right. They built to Thanos,
Yeah.
And I know I just broke the Marvel rule, but
So real quick, I do want to touch on.
I think something fell behind you, Tim.
Yeah, it was issue 40. The Justice League ending.
Yes.
Should I say non-ending?
It was terrible.
So it's just to summarize for people. Let's just say the Justice League loses and they wind up on the moon. And I'm sure if you read DC Comics, you'll recognize these people. I always forget what they're called. It's like group of elders that show up.
Oh, yeah, with the Spectre? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the quintessence. So basically they say, hey, you lost. Perpetua was going to, destroy you, but I saved you. And it's even like a cop-out, like, oh, she sent the heroes from the past back to the past and the heroes from the future back to the future. And basically they say, hey, like, you can, real quick, they do reference, like, Doomsday Clock and some other stuff, which is another lazy thing. Like, hey, if we just throw a panel in, it technically all fits together. So basically, they're shown this door they could walk through where they have a chance to change things and the story ends. Well, what's even crazier is here's the next issue, just came out a week later, which is set after the events of this, where everything's like normal. Everything's just back to normal. Like, there's no ending, and like, I don't know, like, you're talking about all the different forces of the totality. And I remember seeing an interview with Scott Snyder saying he's writing this big story where everything's going to matter. It's building up to the end. It'll all be worth it. And the ending just sort of happens, and nothing that happened through those 39 issues really matter.
The non-ending, yeah.
Yeah, like the Still Force, that mattered nothing, like, and then they just lose. And I've heard a rumor is like, this sort of ties into Green Lantern in a way that maybe this universe just fell and the Justice League went to a similar universe. Because the whole universe fell to Perpetua, and then we just move on like nothing happened. And Dave and Tony, have you read The End of Black Stars?
Not yet.
Okay, well, I ain't gonna spoil it for you, but it sort of can maybe tie into that a little bit. I don't know. So.
Yeah, it's been a depressing couple of weeks for us. And judging by future forecasts, it ain't looking better.
Yeah.
Well, Green Lantern does come out. Season 2, issue 1 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe the Green Lantern TV show will be just as awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Russ, you excited? Green Lantern TV show?
Well, I don't have HBO, so I probably won't be seeing it.
The internet exists. I'm sure someone will pirate it somewhere.
Yeah, that's how I am, Russ. I probably won't see it till DVD.
I tried that free trial thing of HBO last year, and binge watched like all of Game of Thrones in like 2 weeks.
Nah.
And then I just ended it before they charged me.
I hope you ended it before the last season.
Well, that's what you got to do. Just make a brand new email address so you can
Yeah.
watch Green Lantern. Wait till season 1 is over, catch it all, cancel it.
Yeah,
You
might
see-
try that.
I'm not a Game of Thrones fan, but from what I heard of the final season, you could just turn the lights off in your room, and it's basically
Yeah.
watching the end of Game
Yeah,
of Thrones.
That last season, it was brutal, man.
It's so bad.
I didn't. That's the only season I haven't watched yet, but I heard it was so
Really?
bad. I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah,
It's not worth it, honestly. Like, it just needs to be redone.
I heard even some of the cast were like, "Are you serious? This is how this epic show is going to end?"
Yeah, we're totally off topic
Uh-huh.
here, but if you ever get a chance, go watch the videos of like their reactions before it was released when they're asked questions of what they think about it, and they're like, ah. It's funny.
the whole thing's going to turn into a Game of Thrones rant.
Yeah, exactly.
Just 30 minutes of
It's easy to do.
It is. It is.
I've seen like maybe an episode of half of Game of Thrones. I read the books, but
It was great up until season 8, episode 1.
really, oh man. So, one more quick piece of news before we move on. I actually read about today that I guess Joker's getting a new sidekick, a new Harley type person coming soon called
Now that
Punchline.
they've kind of separated Harley from Joker.
Yeah, she's called Punchline, and she's gonna cameo in the next Batman issue, but her full appearance is gonna be in Hell Arisen #3. So, and I guess
Yeah.
they're leading up to a Batman Joker war.
Not a
Yeah,
Is
fan.
that going to
Summer.
be a black label book or a normal book?
Normal.
Yeah, normal.
Okay.
But I haven't read. I'm not reading New Batman, but I guess the whole storyline is someone convinced the Joker to finally use his knowledge of who Batman and all the Robins are, and that's supposed to lead to a giant Joker war, which is the big event coming up, where he finally, because it's confirmed he knows who they all are, and now he's starting to use that information. So,
I was really tempted to pick up Batman 86 and start with that, but I limited my new books so much that I didn't bother.
Well, if you want to read some good Batman, just go back just prior to 86. Really good writer on those books.
yeah. That's sort of right up there with John's Green Lantern run for Dave, the Tom King Batman run.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're neck and neck. He has a tough time figuring out which
Yeah.
one's better.
But I hate to put you on the spot, Dave, but do you have a favorite between those two?
Yeah.
If you had to get stuck on a deserted island,
Oh God.
I do have a couple new books on the way that should be here Monday. I went on Midtown and I ordered Young Justice 12 and 13.
Very
Oh,
cool.
that was
okay.
a very,
Very cool.
very good decision. I just saw Roger's comment saying that maybe I pronounce it right. Everybody else pronounces it wrong. I won't spoil nothing. Here's Young Justice 13.
Yeah, that's the cover I picked.
I'm really enjoying this series, and so many cast members are getting added. And I actually got intrigued because, as you can see on the cover, Warlord's in it. And I had never heard of Warlord until my buddy, Library of Comics. He got on a kick collecting the old Warlord comics. The next thing I know, Warlord's in Young Justice, which is super
Wow.
cool. But yeah,
I've
definitely.
had that on my pull list from the beginning. That's always looked like a hot book to me.
That's probably the one good book Bendis is doing at DC. Is that one?
Yeah, no, it's
He
good.
does good books.
Yeah. I like Young Justice. It's pretty good.
It's okay.
Did you guys pick this up?
No,
Yeah, I got
my
that.
heart stopped for a second.
Oh,
I
did
did
it?
too. I was like, no, I didn't pick it up because I don't
Damn,
have a second mortgage on my house.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
you
the
can't
big.
just surprise me with that.
That was the big.
I
the
need
big book this
warning.
week. I just flash up like Showcase 22 too.
You guys
Hold
also
on.
get the-
I'm
Let-
gonna need a minute, guys.
What is
Let me
this?
grab my
Superman
Action
Action-
Comics 1 right fast.
Yeah, here's a Superman Action Comics 1. Did you guys pick this up?
Yeah.
No, because we don't have time machines.
Wait a minute. You guys didn't pick up Action Comics number 1?
Yeah.
I've got a reprint.
Yeah.
I don't even own a reprint.
Yeah, this is a Loot Crate one. And then this actually came out New Comic Book Day this week. It's a facsimile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to one store today. It's the first store I've been to since then, and they didn't have it. But yeah, somebody already alerted me to that on Instagram.
Did you see the guy in Pennsylvania who was remodeling a house and found an Action Comics number 1 in the walls?
Recently?
I've heard that story.
Yeah. I mean, not recently, but within the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a story like that.
Yeah, he found it in the walls. He was on the news and he got into a fight and it got ripped a little bit and he still made out with like $200,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just
I've seen
popping this
people
up
too.
for Unruly Simeon. It's definitely got Warlord in it.
I've seen people
Yeah.
selling one page graded at like a 0.5 for thousands and thousands of dollars.
I'm just waiting to see Russ start busting out his walls.
Maybe I got an
Just
Action.
take a wall out.
I know it's in there.
Dave, if you ever punched a hole in your wall, you'd find like DC Rebirth, Tom King Batman number 1
Oh, God.
signed.
Yeah, because he's using it for insulation.
Yeah.
That's how much he loves it. Just gonna put this right here, just keep my walls warm.
All right.
All right.
So-
Well, we got a big show to do here tonight. We ready to get
Yeah.
into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, who wants to take the first chapter?
Which one is it again?
It is
God, tell me we read the right books this time.
Well, I have a stack here. I don't remember where we left off. Was it?
I
7?
believe it's Man of
4?
Steel 19 is next, right?
No.
I'm actually going by the trade.
So am I. Adventures 497.
497. Okay.
We left off with for those who weren't here last week, Superman had to make a decision. They had just went all poison ivy on these people's houses. And Superman was going after Doomsday, but could hear the cries of the people left in the fire.
Took me a second. Went
Yeah.
poison ivy on the house.
Yeah.
Well, good thing it wasn't last.
Yeah.
Oh. We got to do something with that.
Dude, I already got something cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's already in the works.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, it's such a great scene. And the way we both picked up on that, we got to
Yeah.
do something with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to make it into a thumbnail this week and it didn't work out. Poison Ivy was going to be like, I missed the retro review. And then Batman's kicking her in the face.
What issue is that? Batman Nightfall issue number.
I don't know off the
I can never
top of my
remember.
head, but if you Google Batman Nightfall Poison Ivy, you'll see the issue. She's on the front.
Oh,
Actually, if
okay.
you just watch the retro review,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can just watch the rest of the review. Free
Yeah.
plug.
It's like,
you'll see us discover it together.
exactly. All right.
I'll take the first one.
All right.
All right.
Cover
so we've
shot.
got so we're going to
Awesome.
start here with 497 again. First up, so the writer on this is Jerry Ordway, and we've got artist Tom Grummett on this one. And Tim, as you said, we start with he's got a choice to make, right? And where he's flying away from that house, and the kid's still screaming, "Superman, help me!" And Superman's like, I got to take care of Doomsday first. But he still keeps hearing the sounds for help. And he even says something, I think, like, man, I thought the Justice League was going to be able to help by now, but nobody's coming to help me. So he decides he's going to plunge Doomsday. He realizes that Doomsday isn't actually flying. He's jumping really high. And so he says, all right, if he's jumping, then he plunges Doomsday to the bottom of a lake and buries him in the silt. With the thinking that it'll take him a while to get out, because if the silt is too squishy, he won't be able to jump and make his way out of the lake. And so that's where we land. And so then Superman flies back to the house just as Bloodwind gets there to help. But Superman's the one that actually saves the family. And just as he gets them out, at that point, Maxima also shows up to help. Somebody want to take it from there?
Yeah, hold on. I skipped ahead for a second.
I don't think I read that issue.
And actually, I skipped something. I'm sorry. So actually, before Maxima shows up, I should say that Doomsday shows back up now that he's rescued this family. And both Superman and Doomsday, they're fighting it out in this small town. Like it's got a very small town feel to it. And Superman's just the two of them are fighting, and that's when Maxima shows up. So
Yeah, Superman grabs a missile out of the air
yeah,
and launches it at Doomsday. Yeah.
I thought it was part of that. Like he ripped, because I thought it was part of the helicopter that got destroyed. And I thought he was grabbing part of the.
I thought that
No.
too, but then he says something like he's going to send the missile where it was
Tony,
headed.
in the panel, I don't know if I'm showing it right,
You're
where
right.
he's holding it, you can see one. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, in the actual panel, like there's no distinctive way to tell it's a missile. But
Yeah.
on yours, it is because I can see like the fins on the back of the missile.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because the helicopter gets destroyed. When did they shoot him? But in the next panel, you can see another one like going by Superman, too.
Okay. Yep. Let's help. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. We're in the same spot. Yeah. Just wanted to clear that up. So who's up? Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Superman, Doomsday. So after, there we go. So Superman is gonna fight Doomsday here with bits and pieces of helicopter, and once that starts, this is probably one of my favorite panels here. And probably I just like the way this cop talks to his chief. It's very cool. So they're just having normal police business here in this little police precinct, and Doomsday comes out of nowhere, lands on top of a cop car. And the cop comes out there to see what the heck's going on, and he exclaims, "Chief, I think I'm going to need a bigger gun." When he takes a look right at Doomsday, which is kind of neat.
Yep.
Did you guys catch the name of that police station? Which I assume is a nod.
Yes. Kirby County Police Station.
Oh
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was very cool. Good call.
Hey, poor Mike and Biggie.
Hey, what's up,
This is
dude?
the coolest story ever. I agree.
So Superman and Doomsday continue to duke it out, but Superman heard something, which distracted him for like a second, and I forget. Yeah, and so when Superman isn't quite paying 100% attention, he gets snabbed by Doomsday. It's hard to tell because I'm literally blinding myself trying to show these panels off. But yeah, right there. You can see it. Grabs him. Yeah. So this is pretty fun too. So they can continue to fight. And the army obviously is getting involved. So they already took out one helicopter. Beats Superman, whips Doomsday, and then helicopter decides, hey, this is my time to shine. Nothing else worked so far except helicopter bullets.
Doomsday loves helicopters.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he decided that the coolest thing to do would be to grab a light post somewhere right there, impale the helicopter.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the second time he's done this? Didn't he do it with a tree?
Yes. He threw a tree at a helicopter. I think.
He did.
Like,
He threw a tree through the beetle bug.
yes.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah.
The beetle bug.
So he's impaling a helicopter, and then he decides to throw the helicopter
Yeah.
somewhere. I literally can't see it. There
It's
we
not
go.
the last helicopter of the story either.
No, but if I was those pilots, I would say something along like, well, Superman has hit him multiple times. I don't know if these bullets are going to do anything. But
Yeah.
luckily, Superman.
It never stops them from trying to hit him with
No,
bullets.
I mean, A for effort. Good for them for trying. But,
Yeah.
luckily, Superman is obviously there to save the day. Doomsday's still on a rampage, but coming out of nowhere, is it fire?
That's
Oh.
Maxima.
Maxima, yeah, sorry. Looked like fire. Oh yeah, fire's green. Never mind. What am I thinking? So Maxima comes and finally gets a shot in on Doomsday, gives Superman some support. I just love the detail in this panel. This is pretty cool.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, for those of you in the area of Baltimore, Brett Breeding is going to be there, so he can sign your Death of Superman books.
Wow. Nice.
So, fun tip for you guys. Tim, you want to take over here?
Yeah.
Or whoever. Superrus.
Did you have this read this issue, Russ?
No. I started with Action and then Man of Steel and then 75.
75.
Yeah.
We'll get to Russ on the next one then.
Yeah, we'll let you start the next one.
Sorry, guys.
So
You're right.
this switches over to a
And they're on
broadcast
TV.
studio.
Yeah.
So long story short, Lois Lane wants to get Jimmy to go with her to report, because he's the picture guy. I do love this little
Turtle
homage.
Boy.
Yeah, he's playing Turtle Boy. It's a homage to the old stories. And we also switch over to Lex Luthor.
But the best part is that when she goes to get Jimmy, she's like, dude, a 3-hour lunch break? And he's like in this turtle costume. He's like, it went long.
Yeah, like making a TV show or something.
Yeah.
And then we get the weird Australian red-haired Lex Luthor and Supergirl.
Yep.
That's another running gag about this is I believe this building, because we switch back to Doomsday getting knocked into a building by Maxima. But a running joke in this is they just sort of go from one Lex-owned site to the next.
Yeah, they do.
I'm pretty sure this is a Lexmart he's getting knocked through. Some great fighting. Doomsday even hits him with a van. And then Maxima makes the terrible mistake of ripping out a light pole.
At a gas station.
Yeah, at a gas station where the
That
pumps had been-
gasoline has just been sprayed everywhere.
Yeah.
Thank God superheroes aren't real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much
So
ends
that,
this issue. Yeah, they're
it does,
knocked out.
except there is one part at the end which is just so not needed.
What's that?
Guardian shows up on his
Oh,
little
yeah.
moped
Yeah.
and proceeds to scold Superman like, really? You couldn't have done it with a little less damage? And Superman is just like, dude, I haven't even beat him yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what? And correct me if I'm wrong, but Guardian doesn't have any powers, right?
He wakes up Superman.
My goodness.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's just the guy.
He's just a guy, and he rolls up on a moped and then scolds Superman. Like,
Little tiny Vespa. I don't even call that a motorcycle.
yeah. In fact, I'm gonna jump ahead just a little bit, but like at the very beginning of the next issue, yeah, he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't get here sooner to help," and even Superman's like, "What? What would you have done to help?"
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Just
So
great.
Russ, is that where you started reading?
Yeah.
All right.
So real quick before we move on, though, I wanted to cover just a few things. So I always like to go through the value, and I use Comics Price Guide, just as a general guide. And so I looked into that. What's that?
Oh, no, no, just
exactly.
biggies. Yeah.
It's so funny. So your first print here of Adventures 497. This is gonna go for about $6 value, and this is really interesting as we start getting into these final issues here, because then you start getting into the second print, which you can see. Hold on, right there. See the Roman numerals?
Yeah.
The second print on this one actually goes for $8. So it goes for more than the first print. And then there is a third print that goes for $4. That's the least of them all.
So I'd assume the second print maybe was the least, had the smallest run.
Who knows? We'll have to put that to the test with one of these issues coming up. You'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right, Russ, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, this is Action Comics 684.
This is a good issue.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
One of the most iconic covers.
Oh, for sure. I just look at the detail in that cover too.
It's not even necessarily the best artwork, but just the way it's all put together. I mean, this is one of my all-time favorites. It says so much.
Yeah, that one and what the one the last issue is like the two famous ones.
Yeah. So
Oh,
cool.
for sure.
Yeah, no, just like just as in Nightfall, there are some the covers here are just iconic.
Yeah.
I like how this one starts off after the explosion, where this like huge truck just crashes down on Doomsday and he just rips through it like it's nothing.
That's the second time Doomsday has taken out Optimus Prime in this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Sorry to cut you off, Russ, but put yourself in the position of the guy in the car.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. You'd be saying your prayers if you're religious, preparing to die.
The
Well,
State
actually-
Farm jingle.
So after he hits that truck, what does he do, Russ? Talking about being scared.
Oh, where he throws the car. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like upside down, just goes flying through the air.
Yeah. One thing I want to touch on, like if that were real, how full do you think your pants would be?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, this guy's driving and he says, like, I can't stop in time. Doomsday grabs the car, just chucks it in the air. And as he's going, he's talking to himself and he's like, all right, this isn't real. I'm about to wake up. And then it like keeps going. He's like,
For real.
I'm flying. Okay, I'm about a mile up now. Hold on. Feels like I'm slowing down. Oh, wait, now I'm falling. I'm not waking up. This is real. It's just great.
Yeah.
Probably
I
would've
love the
died of a heart
reaction when
attack.
Yeah. I love his reaction, even his face when Superman catches him. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a dude that almost had a heart attack. That
Yeah.
face expression.
And let's start keeping track now because now we're seeing the beginning of a trend. Superman is fighting Doomsday and then stopping and does what Superman always does. He's going back to help the innocent civilians that are caught in this whole mess.
Well, it's at least 3 times already just tonight. The
Yep.
people in the fire, the helicopter, and this guy.
Yep.
2 helicopters, right? 2
Yeah.
helicopters
Yeah.
tonight, yeah.
2 helicopters. Yeah.
Just the trail of destruction all the way to the Walmart. I mean, Lexmart.
Oh, I was wrong. Here's the Lexmart, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like how they put that in there. The Lex branding on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's when Doomsday gets to the Lexmart that is that famous scene that Biggie was talking about.
Yeah.
You got to be talking about the Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
kind of knockoff there. I want
The
you,
wrestling.
brother. What you gonna do, brother?
So up until now, Doomsday has just been kind of, at least it seemingly is pretty aimless in his destructive path. But this ad that he sees on the television is a wrestling advertisement saying, come on down for the big brawl in Metropolis. And that's where Doomsday first gets the idea in his head about Metropolis.
Yeah.
I think is it.
Which,
later
by
in
the
this
way, how would
issue.
Doomsday even know where to go? Is what I gotta go. He'd be like, "Come to Metropolis," and Doomsday's like, "Oh yeah,
Well, he doesn't know yet. Remember, there's a realization later.
yeah, you're right, you're right."
It's all right, Tony. We've read it. We'll carry you through.
I just love Lex Luthor's reaction because right after the Lexmart Supergirl's watching TV, it's like, oh yeah, they just went through one of your Lexmarts. He's like, bloody hell.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. So
Yeah.
this whole time, Supergirl keeps saying, "Hey, I gotta go help," and Lex keeps saying, "No, you don't. You got to stay here and protect Metropolis." And but yeah, that was great. She was like, "They just destroyed a Lexmart."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's an indication on the next page. A big sign with Metropolis on it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
That's
so
the realization. Yeah.
that's how Doomsday first puts 2 and 2 together. In fact, he actually starts verbalizing it, saying "Matra."
But he can't read.
He apparently he can.
That could have said this way to Alaska, and he'd be like, "Hell yeah, let's go fight
Well,
some."
I think we just learned a
Let's
lot
go
about
ice
him in
fishing.
that moment because he does read it and he starts sounding it out.
So
Yeah.
maybe one of Doomsday's other not well known talents is hyper intelligence.
I don't know. Who
Or
knows?
maybe I don't know. Maybe he
Well-
evolves. His brain evolves like his
on the-
body does when
On
he
the
takes
video
damage.
he watches,
That's true.
where they say Metropolis, the words are there.
Oh, yeah. He could be putting 2 and 2 together.
So then he could see the same word and sound it. So he ain't necessarily reading.
right.
You know, he's
We're
just
like detectives.
yeah. He's
Crime
got
solved.
some
I
intelligence.
know.
Some intelligence.
We could be like Batman's new sidekicks.
Yeah, Tom King can write for us.
Oh.
Hey,
um.
better than Frank Miller writing you as Batman.
That's true.
You're gonna be old.
So after he sees this sign for Metropolis, then Superman sees that and is like, "Oh heck no!" And so he sends him, he knocks him back the opposite direction, and Doomsday actually ends up landing in the kind of the wilderness area for Project Cadmus.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Of all the places to throw them.
Well, and because I think in one of the earlier issues, it might have been the Justice League one, they were also even wondering if maybe Doomsday was a creation of Project Cadmus.
Oh, okay.
And we'll see that
I missed
occurring
that.
here in the future too. So, and I'm so Project Cadmus, and I apologize. I actually meant to do a little bit of research, some background on some of these characters that people might not know, like Maxima and Project Cadmus. And I ran out of time. But Project Cadmus is essentially like this laboratory where they can create create things, super beings. Yeah. In fact, I believe Guardian actually comes from there. Oh, I never knew that. I got to go back and look at that. That's pretty cool.
Well, I know this Guardian may be associated with Cadmus, but not like the original.
Okay.
Because I just read the secret origin of the original Guardian.
Yeah, well, remember, there's a lot of stuff, and we'll get to continuity, but there's a lot of stuff here that's not necessarily what we're used to.
I think this guy's actually like a clone.
Who isn't?
I think it's Jim Harper. I think he is the original Guardian. I think this guy, they just keep cloning him when he dies.
Well, what was
Or at
happening
least this
back
guy's
then?
a clone.
Was that like Dolly the sheep? Like that was around then. Maybe that's why everyone was a clone. But
Maybe. Could be. It was the 90s, and like DC was finally starting to get away from their continuity.
Yeah,
It was just starting to get crazy
definitely.
then. Yeah.
This definitely did. There was a lot that you just had to kind of, if you were jumping in fresh, you just kind of had to like go with and just like, all right, and all these crazy characters that would come in out of nowhere. But and so it gets to Project Cadmus, and there's this thing called Habitat, and it's like a giant, like, I don't know, tree fort. And so they're battling in the middle of it, and it kind of collapses down on them all, right? But before it does, who shows up at the end of the fight? Just in time, the Guardian shows up on his moped again.
I thought maybe you're talking about Oral Redenbacher.
Oh, yeah.
He showed up with the popcorn to save everybody.
Totally.
The hardest dude in the DC universe.
Yeah. This time he doesn't lecture Superman, though. But what's really interesting is I believe the panel Tony just showed where Superman's eye looks a little busted up. I think this is the first time that Superman actually starts acknowledging that he's tired. prior to now, he's acknowledged that he could use some help. He's acknowledged that he could use some help and didn't get any help. But this is the first time, and I think he's also reflected on like the big hitters he's fought in the past, like Lobo and whatnot. But this is the point where he's like, okay, I'm starting to get a little gassed. And it reminded me, Tim, of when we were doing Nightfall and how that was like a reoccurring theme there. And we're starting to see that now with the Superman story.
Yeah, I think it's this next issue is when he gets cut for the first time. But yeah.
It is, yeah. So real quick, and then we'll move on. So for this first print, I've got $4 on it. Second print is also $4. Get this, Tim. Third print, $6. So I guess third print is the one you want for this.
Now you see, that would make sense to me because you would think every print going up would be lower. So you would think maybe the lowest print run. That's why the first one, the second print, is kind of weird.
Well, and you know what? So you don't see this in just every book. In fact, most books, the second and third printings are less than the first. So what is going on with these books? I was thinking about this earlier, and I think what's happening is these books were so mass printed, everyone had it, that it does make sense that the later printings would be more collectible because they're rarer.
Yeah. Biggie hit it right on the head. Said Guardians like Krillin from DBZ.
He thought Bloodstone was the only phony. All right, so we got Man of Steel number 19. Who wants to take that?
There's even more phonies, Biggie. Even more. I think it's Tony's turn.
No, is it my turn?
It's you.
I thought I was taking 75. I thought that was my next one.
I think we're just sort of taking turns throughout the books.
Oh, yeah. Man of Steel 19. Hold on.
This is the one you said you read.
I know.
Well, if Russ wants to grab it, you could do.
Yeah. Go ahead, Russ. Take that one, and then I'll take 70. I think 75's next after that.
Yeah, it's just 2 more issues.
Yeah, 75 is like my all-time favorite.
No problem.
So I want to do that one.
And Russ, you're on mute.
Okay.
The trade is a little confusing. Does it start here, or does it start on this page?
I think it's
yeah, you're right.
the page where he's grabbing the guy's head is the beginning of it.
Oh yeah, the construction site.
Yeah,
that was a great scene too. By the way,
that was brutal.
Yeah.
We're talking about the bird and the deer.
Yeah.
Breaking necks and cashing checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy's like even like calling something out, and then he's just like crick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was when Doomsday said Metropolis again.
Yeah,
Or
you're
Money,
right.
Yeah, because the guy was like Metropolis. It said, and then next snap.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's a cool scene.
You see what happens to him right after that? He snaps his neck and then throws him into a girder.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that one.
It's almost as brutal as what Batman did to Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I was waiting.
You're gonna laugh when you see what I got going on for that. It's gonna be
man.
It's good.
You can't wait.
Helicopters.
Yep. Yeah, this one's Lois and Jimmy.
I feel like Doomsday needs a helicopter, like Thanos has one. Just to get around.
So yeah, in this one, this is where now we're again. I like paying attention to kind of the evolution of these characters throughout the story, and like because it starts out with like, well, it's Superman, right? Like he defeats everyone. This is the part of the story now where Lois and Jimmy are starting to like, okay, hold up, he might be in some trouble now, and it's like for the first time you're starting to see them starting to worry.
Yeah.
This, I think, is where the fight just starts really getting good. An awesome drop kick right there, it looks like.
Yeah, Doomsday gets
panel, you see him just
blows
getting driven right through a construction site. The building there.
Yeah.
I could find it.
And keep in mind, more and more of Doomsday's containment suit is coming off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We forgot. We can fully see him now, and he's got these like bone extrusions coming out of his skin, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like how they show the scene of Ma and Pa Kent up here.
Wasn't that
I thought
great?
that was a good touch.
It was.
I got a
They're
question for
watching on
Dave.
TV.
Yeah.
What's that?
I got a question for you, Dave. Doomsday drops down into the underworld, which we saw at the very beginning of this,
Yep.
and he one punch kills a guy. Was that Closter? Did Closter bite the dust?
I don't know.
Because I don't see Closter anywhere around.
I thought I thought
Just-
Superman took out Closter with that grenade in the mouth.
Well, he didn't kill him.
Whoever he is, he's big. And Doomsday just smacks him.
Yeah,
Man,
you can kind of see his decapitated body.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Closter.
It'd be like that scene from Jason Takes Manhattan. He just knocked that dude's head off that was boxing him.
Yeah.
And so we also saw at this point, Guardian is chatting with, and again, this was a character I meant to do some backstory on, but Dubalex, he's one of the DN aliens from Project Cadmus, and he's got
Oh yeah.
what's the power called? I'm blanking. He
Telepathy.
can read telepathy. Is that it?
Mind? Are you talking about mind? He can read minds.
Yeah. What's that called?
Yeah, isn't that telepathy?
Is it?
I think you're right.
No.
Is that
No,
the one that you float? I can't remember.
Yeah. Telepathy's right. I was confusing it with telekinesis when I said it. Telekinesis moves stuff.
Oh, okay. So anyway, he can read people's minds. He can talk to them. So he's talking to Guardian through their minds, and decides that he's going to go see what's going on in Doomsday's mind. And he's like, I got nothing. The only thing coming from him is destruction.
Now, you guys sure that Guardian's not just on an acid trip right there?
Yeah. He might be. I know. It looks like he's talking to like E.T.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
This is another cool panel where he's got him in the full Nelson.
Yeah.
I think the next scene coming up is where he actually where he gets cut for the first time.
Yeah. There's actually quite a bit of wrestling moves in this, right? There's
It's
the
a
full
peak
Nelson there.
wrestling.
It is, yeah. They had the ad. There's that one scene where Doomsday just pile drives him through the pavement. Oh,
That was awesome.
Yeah. He got the second big explosion, and then Supergirl finally leaves.
she finally goes to help, and that at that point, that's where Doomsday stabs Superman with one of the bones coming out of, I think, his and
His
he
elbow.
just he cut Superman for the first time. So now this isn't like your normal Superman just brawl. Like now we're seeing blood and like he's getting cut. Like it's a fair match at this point. Like Doomsday is everything.
I remember being a kid reading this, not knowing anything about comics, and when you see Supergirl get hit and transform, I was just like, what?
So this
What?
whole time, Supergirl has been pleading with Lex to let her go help because Superman needs another like power player, right? She goes out there. Look at that.
Total like
One hit
pancake face.
turned to mush.
Yeah. I think that's sort of his normal look and skin.
Yeah,
Matrix.
because she's like a clone,
Yeah.
right? Some kind of weird clone. I don't know.
I remember when I first read that back in the day, I didn't know what was happening because I hadn't read
Yeah.
any Supergirl previous to that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
just
the
like,
original
what?
Supergirl.
Yeah. I mean, I was shook
I was like,
for a
that
long
turned into
time.
that?
Yeah.
What happened?
I remember as a kid purposely skipping that when I'd reread it. Like, I don't know what this is.
I had no
It's freaking me
idea
out.
what that was.
I just want to pretend like that isn't in the story.
Because I was what?
Well, see, had
13
you
at the
read
time?
Nightfall first and seen the way Batman took down Poison Ivy, you would have been, you would have been desensitized. You would have been able to handle it better.
Exactly.
I was 13 then, and I remember like seeing Supergirl in the book and like, oh man, she's hot. And then,
And then,
and then that, like what
Oh.
happened?
And then that.
My 13-year-old self was just devastated.
You know what that
How
reminds
could
me
I
of?
have
Like,
gone so wrong?
yeah, you see like the supermodels with the makeup, and then it's like when you get them home after marriage. That's what you just reminded me of, Russ. What they really look like. Oh man.
I need to get
Into
it. We need to
pile of
find
fur.
like a blank Supergirl cover and have Squatchy do a
Yeah.
a pinup
Of Matrix, yeah,
a swimsuit edition of that Supergirl for us.
yeah. But it's got to be as Matrix, not
Oh
as
yeah. Oh,
not
this needs to happen
yes.
for little 13-year-old Russ.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yes. Get on that, Squatchy.
Yeah.
I really lucked out that I didn't say I thought Supergirl was hot when talking about how much it messed with me as a kid. Russ opened up the can of worms.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Squatchy
Look
took
at
him down.
Squatchy's down. Yeah. We're gonna make this happen
Oh,
for you,
God.
Russ.
Awesome.
Funny.
We need to have like little 13-year-old Russ like
Like holding some flowers or something. Oh, see, I never should have invited Russ on the show because he's innocent. He's an
yeah.
innocent person. I brought him to the dark side of the web.
Right.
He's got to be holding a note that says, "I like you. Do you like me? Check yes or no."
Yeah. Oh.
You know how they did it back in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So true. All right.
So I guess
Oh man.
jumping back on, we got a couple more pages till Tony's book, but we get to see I believe it's the Special Crimes Unit and Maggie Sawyer and Bibbo, just sort of I guess like the token appearance of current Superman characters in the book.
But it was cool because you saw like regular citizens come out and try to help, but they had a laser. Then you saw the police force come out and try to help. So it's like you're seeing the community come out for Superman here.
How did Bibbo get thrown by Doomsday and then caught by Superman and not be like ripped in two?
Because he probably threw him like 100 miles an hour.
So then you got Superman and Doomsday trading punches, and you can see not only is Superman bleeding, but you can see Doomsday's bones are cracking on that shot.
Yeah, Doomsday's getting it as bad as Superman is right now.
And this issue ends, they're just straight up hockey style brawling in the street, and the Special Crimes Unit is shooting. They're like hovering above them with jetpacks, shooting down at them.
And at this point, that's when Superman vows, "I'm going to finish this if it kills me."
Yeah.
Ask, you shall receive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
One thing real quick that bugged
Yeah.
me, as you can see how the suit on the side is ripped,
yeah,
where he's got and then the next couple pages,
it's not.
it's like,
Oh,
there's no cut there, no gash, just, yeah.
before
For some
before
reason,
Tony takes over,
that bugged my OCD so bad.
I know we've mentioned this before, but before Tony takes over, the art from the person on the Man of Steel to this issue, like this art is terrible compared to getting into this issue. Whoever was the
Yeah.
artist on Man of Steel.
So we haven't gone through that, so let's do it. So action was Roger Stern and Art Thibbert and Jackson.
Okay.
Ricci? I can't. Man of Steel is the writer is Luis Simonson. The artist is John Bogdanov, and we've mentioned him before. We weren't digging his art.
Yeah, I don't care for that art at all.
Oh, and Adventures was Jerry Ordway writing and Tom Grummett artist. And then Superman 75 is going to be Dan Jurgens and Brett Breeding. That's the winning pair right there.
Oh,
Jurgens
yeah.
and Breeding.
100%.
Whenever you hear Jurgens and Breeding, I mean, it's instantly, Superman.
Yeah. Well, DC was smart having this issue be those two. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the art is so much better just flipping from one page to the next.
Oh, yeah. You couldn't have done it in Man of Steel. That would have been a travesty.
Oh,
Real quick,
Yeah.
though, let's, before we move off Man of Steel, this issue here, first print, $8. Second print is $8. The newsstand is $8. Dude, get this. Third print is $10.
Wow.
So again, third print is the one you want.
I'm surprised there ain't like a 10th print which is with as many as this sold.
I know. Wait till we get to the next one. There was no second print.
It's all first prints.
Well, they printed enough.
People are going to pay off your mortgage, right? If you bought one of these, pay off your mortgage, send your kids to college, retire in Florida. There you go.
Yeah.
So you had yours.
Young
wanna-
little kid, and I remember getting this, and I thought it was gonna make me rich.
So for anybody that doesn't know, yours is in the black bag with all the goodies still inside. This is what it looks like out of the bag.
Yes, that's out of the bag. I think there's also an armband in here, right?
I'll get to that because I have all my goodies.
Oh, okay.
So once we finish the story, I'll show all the goodies that came with it.
And then the newsstand is back there on the wall. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You can see it. So this is the one. So we left off with all the guys with their jetpacks shooting Doomsday. But this is a clustered scene. You have Superman fighting Doomsday. You have the jetpack guys. You have the news helicopters taking up space. So this is an intense deal. And one thing I did notice about this issue is a little bit on every page, you see Superman bleed a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And his suit gets ripped and pieces go flying off. So
You know what else is happening, Tony?
What's up?
At the very beginning, they're destroying a Lex Park parking garage.
I did see that. Lex Park,
They're just going through his holdings.
right? Poor Lex Luthor. Almost said Lex Luger. Almost said Lex Luger. But of course, Doomsday's taking out his favorite vehicle, another helicopter with Superman. But yeah, and that helicopter was the Daily Planet copter with Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen in it. So Superman had to take them to safety. And keep in mind, Superman is starting to realize that this is not going to end well. So in this panel, he's letting Lois know, hey, this is, I've never encountered this before. This probably isn't going to be good. And I think he's finally coming to terms.
Look at that panel right there. I mean, like, tell me that's not a goodbye.
That is some
They
gone with
both
the
know
type
at
stuff.
that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they know. Like, she's crying there, right? Like, they know.
They know.
Yeah.
That's a goodbye.
And Superman, like you said, he's going to finish this one way or
He
another.
is done with it, dude. Check him out. That is such a
That's
great
awesome.
scene. That is immediately after the kiss.
Dude, look at the panel work of this issue. Every single page so far has just been one big splash page.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going from the look of it.
Yep. Oh, this is the scene where Doomsday pile drives him, or the issue.
Yeah, we're getting close. And one complaint I have about this issue. So we know what's going to happen, but we don't know at the same time. So they put an ad for Death of Superman in the middle of this book. In the middle of the book. So if you weren't getting the subtle hints that, this is going to be a big deal, right in the middle of the book. They ruin it for everybody.
That's great.
It took Tony 3 hours to clean up the mess after he flipped his table reading it.
Right? All my Legos went everywhere.
Man, at least this story gets an ending, though. Just throwing that out there.
That's true. So here's your pile driver scene.
That's crazy.
Pile driving Superman.
Holy moly!
That's some incredible artwork.
It is. I like how Superman went all stiff for it, though.
Yeah. Well,
made it real easy on him.
Yeah, when you straight as an arrow.
The hit right before it. I don't know much about martial arts, but are you supposed to ram into people with your neck? We saw that in Aquaman too. Like, where'd that move come from?
Your spinal cord is your best, is one of your strongest bones in your body. So I mean, it makes sense.
Okay.
Right? Lead with the strongest bone in your body.
Sure.
They teach that in the NFL to helmet first.
Yeah, definitely. It's a flag if you don't land with the helmet, I think now.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to lift with your back so you don't blow out your knees. But man, I'm struggling here. Okay, here we go. So during the fight, when Superman and Doomsday are duking it out, Superman is temporarily stunned, and now turns and sees Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. But for some reason, instead of running, quick, get a picture.
Yeah. We'll stand 5 feet away from this fight.
But
the entire time.
Superman, so there's Doomsday's rear end, and there's Superman's face.
Almost as nice as Nightwing's.
Yeah, almost.
That's the sex appeal of this issue, this shot.
Yeah, right? In case anyone had hots for Doomsday, this issue is for you. Right? But luckily, Superman does get there in time.
I love that scene.
Yeah, right there. Kind of grabs him. But yeah, this one is probably one of my favorite scenes right here. Where he uses heat vision to throw him through the wall.
Dude,
and then
look at that.
Falls off.
And you can see how close Lois is there. The cape's off. Like this, we are at the end.
Yep.
I know the look on Doomsday's face and where Superman's hand is. You can imagine where he's punching him. I wonder if it got stuck for a minute.
Russ?
Probably.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now. I was looking at the next page, like, what's he talking about?
This isn't a PG stream, is it?
No, for children or for adults only.
I don't know why that went in my mind.
That's funny. So, yeah.
Even look at the look on Superman's face.
Yeah, he's like really determined.
Yeah.
What is this?
Russ taking this show straight to the gutter.
Yeah.
Fatality.
But I thought Russ was the innocent one.
I know.
Yeah, never mind. Welcome to the dark side, Russ.
Right?
Well, he was the innocent one.
Yeah.
So he came on this show. Superman gave Doomsday the most atomic wedgie of a lifetime.
Yeah.
But here Superman's Doomsday still duking it out.
That's Doomsday's knee, by the way.
Yeah.
It took me like a few minutes to figure that out. Like what part of, like I couldn't do like
that is his knee.
Oh, I just noticed something I didn't the first read through. That very next panel, he doesn't just punch Superman, he claws his face.
Yeah. So Superman is pretty beat up right here. So this is to him, obviously, Superman has never encountered anything like this before. He's never been bled like this before. He's never been this tired. The Justice League is pretty much useless at this point. It's Superman or nothing. Superman is the only one standing in their way. But they start trading boxing blows at this time. So it looks like Superman might beat Doomsday.
You can see Doomsday is actually crying out in pain there.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
So he figures this is where Superman figures out how to hurt him, and if you look down, he kicks off that knee protrusion.
Yeah,
Yeah, breaks the bone right in two there.
that's what hurt him.
Yeah, very classic Doomsday Superman pose right there. But yeah, Doomsday quick on his feet, bringing the fight back to Superman.
Yeah, and you can see Superman's suit is almost all torn off at this point.
Yeah. Well, now we're just down to 2 punches left.
I know. I got to be honest. Like, just being perfectly honest here, reading this again, it happens to me every time I read this book. Like, it's tough to read. Like, I get like choked up reading this. It's like, which is silly because it's a comic book, but still, like, I think it means a little bit more than that, right? And so, like, especially this story and this character. And so,
I'll admit it choked me up too. And that's what you read stories to do, to affect you that much.
Oh yeah, no, this story affects me like more, I think, than any other comic ever has. That scene there where they're fighting, and then what really gets me is the final blow is captured in the reflection of Jimmy's camera there. I mean, look at that as they're both kind of falling to the ground. He got that final scene, and what amazing artwork. I mean, just the way they put that whole panel together, I mean, that is iconic right there. Yeah. And what a beautiful way to do it.
The punch before, you could see the impacts are shattering all the glass in the building behind him.
Right?
Yeah. That was awesome.
2 epic final punches.
Oh,
and that's it. It's the fight's over.
That's it.
Done. And
now, I'm guessing that final shot, the final shot where he's coming down with both fists, I'm guessing that broke Doomsday's neck, and that's what did it.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
But look at that. There's his parents having to watch this on television. I mean, that's just heartbreaking.
Got to see it in half K because it's in the 90s.
Yeah. You got what's left of the Justice League because most of them are in the hospital.
Yeah, these guys were just freaking standing around doing nothing.
They're watching. They can't do anything.
Yeah,
I'm surprised the ice was there because
we'll get the civilians out of the way.
It looked like in an earlier issue, didn't she get her back broken?
You're right.
No,
you're right,
just
Russ.
straight up punched.
He did. No, it doesn't make sense.
She got thrown through that house, and she'd been unconscious ever since. Like she was the one that was stuck in the fire.
He put his fist into her back as hard as he could.
Yeah.
Did he?
She should be in 2.
Yeah. Now, I'm not exactly familiar with what her powers are, but unless she's got a healing factor, like, I don't know.
Yeah. But the other thing to mention too is, and we kind of gloss over this, but throughout these, as you're watching these blows go by, there's also on the streets are all of the people came out into the streets and are watching. And you can, even in the small, tiny little pictures, you can see their reactions, and they're all just horrified at what they're seeing. I mean, this is their hero.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, the last, that fold out there is just crazy. I mean,
yeah, and that particular issue, Superman 75, did come with a bunch of goodies. So you have a Superman's obituary.
Yeah.
Which is
and his last words to Lois were he wanted to know if you beat him. Right?
I thought it was "I love you," and then he replied, "I know."
Was that it?
No, I'm just messing with it.
No, I thought it was something like Doomsday. Doomsday is he? And then she's like, "Yeah, you got him." And like at that point, he was finally able to just let go.
Oh yeah,
kind of pass on, which I thought was really important because like he couldn't let go of it until he knew that Doomsday, that Metropolis and Lois was safe.
6 Superman Death of Superman poster came with it.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh wow.
I've got a black bag, but I never opened it.
Yeah. Mine's never getting open.
I have one that I'm not going to open. This one I want to open because I want to slab it. And they will take it out of the slab. They take it out of the bag to slab
out of the bag, yeah.
Yeah. You have your armband that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So that goes.
And in the Funeral for a Friend, they have all the heroes wear that band.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You also get some Death of Superman trading cards. And this is card number 0. Talks about Doomsday.
Nice.
Man, all that's in that comic?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
And you get some.
He's making this up.
Yeah, right.
He knows we'll never open ours. So
Right? I could just say this is
Oh.
this is in there.
Pull
this is in
$100 bill out. This
Right,
one's
yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
It's like his Harry Potter bag of
Death
Superman.
of Superman stickers. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some Superman hoodie pajamas. And
The Superman rubber chicken.
Full size cape.
yeah, exactly.
A Superman
So-
casket.
So as we're talking about this, if you get it with the bag, this is a $10 book. Did you know that if you take the bag off, you're supposed to drop it an entire grade though? So which is funny. It would be interesting to see what CGC does.
They take it out of the bag.
Yeah.
You're supposed to drop it one
yeah.
grade.
I've
1
seen
point.
9/8s on eBay, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've
They
seen
didn't
9/8s
drop
on
it,
that. I don't. 'cause you're
Maybe
right,
it's because they have to take it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
because CGC and CBCS and all those grading companies, they're interested in the value or the condition of the book, not the bag. They could give shit less
No,
about that.
I get it.
Yeah.
So the one I got on the wall up there, the special edition first print, I don't even think it's considered the newsstand. It's just standard edition. Not special edition, standard edition. That's a $5 book. There were no second prints or third prints, obviously, but there was one other book. It's the book that I would love to have. Someday I will. It looks just like this, although it's called the Platinum Edition.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
silver. That's $185.
Yeah.
So that's the book to have. So
That
if you're
kills me
really
'cause
going,
That book is actually on the wall at my LCS.
I know.
And I look at it every time I go in there.
I
and I'm
know. I've done the
like,
same
I can't
thing.
do it.
I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
So, but if you really want to collect these books and you want the hardest to find ones, again, go back, watch these videos. We cover them all, but look at which ones you need the second or third print of. And then again, this platinum is going to be what you want.
Yeah, that platinum is something else. But speaking of CGC, did any of you see Jaguar's Wonder Woman post on Instagram?
Oh, I missed it.
Not
No.
yet.
It showed a Wonder Woman number 7 from the George Perez run, and CGC had it listed, in a slab as Wonder Woman 1. That just popped into my head when you guys are like, what's CGC going to do with an open one? So,
Nice. So, and I know we got to probably wrap this up soon. I think you got to go soon, Tim.
well, if my wife's still listening, you mind if I'm...
Huh.
I'm just playing. Yeah, I got to go pick up my wife.
No, she can wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Just a
enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need a couch to crash on, man, you can use mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully you like dogs, because mine will sleep on top of you, and they're 150 pounds apiece.
So I know that we like to do our grading, Tim, right? I'm just thinking it might take a little too much time. Do we just want to do what we did last time and just do a
Overall.
the board?
Yep. Across the
Overall?
board. Yep.
Like, let's we
Out of-
normally grade in 5, so let's just do like a 1 through 25.
Okay.
Like 25 being the best, 1 the least.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's have the guest go first. Russ, what would you give this out of a 1 out of 25?
Well, I mean, I got to give it a 25.
25?
Maybe I'm just got nostalgia glasses. But yeah.
Yeah, there's no tape on your glasses anymore. Hats off to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally got new ones.
Or your wife says you got time.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just go counterclockwise. Dave, what would you give this?
I'd love to give it a 25, honestly. I mean, it's one of my favorites, but honestly, it's the continuity that's actually going to hit this one and the Man of Steel artwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gonna
I'm
drop
glad you're saying
Yeah,
that.
I
It's
got
gonna-
to admit that was bad.
It's
I don't
gonna
wanna
drop
be the
it
bad guy,
7
so-
points to me across the 4 books. Oh no, because we're doing. I'm sorry, no. So if I were to do that, that would average out to let's give it a 23.
23. How about you, Tony?
I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 20 out of 25. I'm going to pro about this book is Dan Jurgens is a beast, and it shows. The guy is extremely talented, and I'm glad he's still doing books for DC today. I'm going to hit this book because I agree. Some of the artwork, and it was not the ones that Dan was on, kind of leaves less to be desired. Not a huge fan of some of it, and I thought some of the side B stories weren't that great, but overall 20 out of 25.
20 out of 25.
Dude, if we could get Kelly Jones doing the cover art with John Bogdanov on the interior art, that is a book, man. With Tom King writing for it.
Exactly, yeah.
Dude.
We to just explore Superman's emotions.
You're striking yourself before we get a chance, and that's not fun for us.
Overall, the book just needed more Closter.
Yeah.
19 out of 20, no Closter.
Hey, you have that scene where you find
how-
out they're related, Doomsday and Closter.
Hey, we laugh, but go back and look at how few panels Closter was actually in, and then go add up the number of minutes we've been talking about him. So
Exactly. I don't think one of us should Google. I'll try to and see if Closter ever comes back, or if that was just
I think he did once. I think he died.
okay.
I think that's what I read, but I don't recall it off the top of my head.
So, speaking of Dan Jurgens, I was reading something this week. I think it was Secret Origins because I read all the ones I had, and Dan Jurgens, like I'm reading a story, like man, this is good. It was Dan Jurgens. Pretty sure it was Secret Origins, but it might have been something else from like the 80s. But my score on this, I'm glad that Tony and Dave knocked it because I didn't want to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 24, just because. If I was grading this, that would be the one thing is the art. I would knock it down a notch. And yes, all the weird continuity things.
So
They
the
were just
continuity
trying
is it's like Supergirl, right?
Yeah,
Lois
like
Lane she looked a little weird too.
well, she had like the '90s hair, and you had
Yeah.
like the weird Lex Luthor pretending to be Lex Jr.
Yep.
Like.
Just,
But that was all stuff that was happening before this story, and they were trying to fit like every Superman character in.
I know, and my thinking with this though was you have to remember this was mainstream news. Everyone was jumping into comics at this time. So if you put yourself into the shoes of that reader, are you going to understand why is Lex Luthor suddenly have hair? Right? Like
why does he look like an Australian firefighter?
Why did Supergirl just like turn into oatmeal? Like,
if we had the internet back then, I bet that would have blew up on Twitter. Like, what just happened to Supergirl? What's happening?
Yeah.
So, well, before we jump off, because I do want to give everyone a chance to shout out their channel, what they might have going. Does anyone else have a book show?
So I have a book show, but Tim, you're skipping one thing, and
what's that?
Mrs. Collector says you got time. I know you're trying to skip over this because you don't like this part of the show.
No,
we have to get to our trivia.
Oh,
I actually do not have a question.
I got one.
Because you've given up.
I've got one.
pretty much, yeah.
This one is worth 100 points.
Oh,
100 points. And I'm going to give this one to Dave first, with a chance to steal from anybody. What was the name of the police station?
We just said it, right?
We did. We talked about it probably about 20 minutes ago.
And because I'm on the spot, I can't think of it. What's Kirby?
What's the full name?
County. Kirby County.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
100 points. There you go.
100 points. 100 points. 100 points. Oh, and this one's for
out
Tim.
There. I've never got a question that we talked about during the show.
here's one for Tim for 101 points.
Oh,
Okay.
How many helicopters did Doomsday take out?
I know for sure 3. I think that's it. 3.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
Nope. You're wrong. Minus 101 points. It was 4.
Was it? Oh,
4? It was 3.
It was 4. It's 3 helicopters. The fourth one was the Daily Planet helicopter.
That didn't get destroyed.
yeah. That was the
It got-
third one.
That was the fourth one. Superman had to catch it.
Yeah, that was the 4th one. And there was 2.
2 Army helicopters. Well,
Yeah.
3 Army helicopters.
2.
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
All right, so let me get to my question now.
Okay, go.
I
for it.
know for a fact.
Okay. This one's worth how many points?
I don't know.
All of them. This is worth all the points.
First one to guess. Of the 4 books we read tonight, okay? We had Adventures, Action, Man of Steel, and Superman. In which book were the most number of vehicles destroyed? The ones that we can see.
I think
And
it
I'll
was
tell
the
you
book.
exact
Action.
breakdown.
It
It
was
was
Russ's
Action.
first book, wasn't it? The one Russ started. I forget which.
I've already
Yeah.
forgot the issue number.
Yeah, I can't remember what issue that is.
I think
but
it was.
My
It's the one
short-term
Russ
memory-
started.
My
my
guess is going to
short-term
be
memory is garbage.
Adventures 497. That's my guess.
All right, so Tony's on Adventures. Tim, you're on.
Yeah, I think Adventures is what Russ started with, right? So yeah, Adventures. The second one, the second book of the night.
The first book of the night was Adventures. The second book was Action.
Okay, then I'm going with Action.
You're going with Action, Tony. You're sticking
Yeah.
with Adventures. Russ,
I gotta say Action.
you going with Action?
Yeah.
Tim and Russ redeemed themselves. It is Action. Check this out. I added it up. I went panel by panel counting them up. In Adventures, we had 2 helicopters, 1 police car, 1 van, and 3 cars for a total of 7. We had Action with 2 semi-trucks and a total of 13 cars.
You mean 1 transformer and 13 cars?
Yes, exactly.
So it was a total of 15. There was actually 2 semi-trucks in that one. In Man of Steel, we had 1 dump truck and 1 police car for a total of 2. And then finally in Superman, we had our 1 helicopter, which was the Daily Planet. We had 2 cars, 1 police car, and there was also a bus that was thrown in there for a total of 5. But yeah, we had 15 was the big one in Action. I know
Awesome.
you were all dying to know that. but
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for breaking that down.
yeah. It was the best 20 minutes of my day going through and counting all that.
As long as you had a good day, man. However you spent it. All right. Book show off. Tim, you said you had a book?
Oh yeah.
I got a couple books. I showed them earlier in my haul video, but I got a really good price on these. Wonder Woman #1.
Nice.
I finally got this for under $10. I refuse to pay more for it because I think this is a 50-cent book. But 52 week 11.
I just saw the entire run in the 50-cent bin today.
Yeah, that's I because of that reason I refuse to pay $10 or more. I got it for $9, which in my opinion is a win.
Huh.
I actually I have this whole series I'm about to show, except for the first few issues I have in a graphic novel. So I wanted to get these issues, single issues. So start with the big one, Justice League #1, which is the first Maxwell Lord.
I'm surprised
And then-
you don't have that.
Yeah, when I first got back into comics in my 20s, I was buying all graphic novels. Well, then when I started picking up comics, if I had those issues in a graphic novel, I never got the issues. So that and the Morrison JLA run, I got a few issues I need to pick up.
Mm,
And then the last book I got was
nice.
Oh, man.
Mega Man #3.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
super
awesome.
excited. I love Keith Giffen. Actually, both these books are Keith Giffen. Huge fan of him. After Jeff Johns, probably my favorite writer.
Nice. You know, I actually picked up. I had my Lobo. I've had it for a while, but within the past year, I actually picked up an entire run of the Omega Men, the full run, for $80, and it included number 3.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it is. So
awesome.
Does anyone else have anything to show?
I got a couple books.
All right, let's see them.
I got a Booster Gold #1.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
I actually just got this in an AOK today from JPL Flash.
Oh, nice.
I had to show that. Some
That's a
Dan
beautiful
Jurgens goodness there.
That's an
I love Booster
A-OK
Gold.
book.
And
what is
this one right here.
What does
Got to
he
show
have?
this.
Dude,
And a 9.8 to
9.8.
boot.
9.8. Yep.
Wow.
that is
I'll
beautiful.
give you $5 for that book.
Dan Jurgens signature.
That's beautiful.
Where does
Wow.
it say it was signed? Does it give a date? It's a CGC.
It was
so it should.
On March 24th, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. Got this off of eBay.
I love
Very
it.
cool.
That's beautiful.
Russ is in his daily video thing for February has been killing me. Today he has the OK with the Booster Gold #1, and a couple days ago he had the. I just recently found out they exist. The Blue Beetle Booster Gold 2-pack pops.
Oh, yeah.
I love Booster and Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
There's actually 2 versions of that. There's one with regular and one with metallic. I got the metallic ones.
See, I'll raise
Oh,
your
wow.
That's the
Booster
shape.
Gold with my slab.
Oh,
Booster
nice.
Gold.
Nice.
Yeah, 9.6.
Wow.
I got that one. I just got those back. What am I?
Hey,
stuck
Tony,
on?
you know, next week we're doing Booster Gold, so you're going to have to take that out of the slab.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Crack it.
Russ, let me borrow your one real quick. Right, but yeah, that's a cool book that I have. I like Booster Gold too. I actually got that one in a trade I made, but I did get, can't really quite see it down there. I did get first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs and the
Oh, wow.
Legends #1, first appearance of Amanda Waller and the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
Awesome. And that all 3 of us have shown some good stuff. Dave really has to step up.
I think I got it. It's simple. It won't cost you much. But
Tom
if you
King
don't have
signature.
this,
Oh, man.
so this is actually one of my all-time favorite Superman stories, probably my second favorite after Death of Superman. And this also is a Death of Superman issue. This is All-Star Superman #12.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the final issue of this run. It's just a 12-part series. Grant Morrison, Frank Quietly. It just absolute genius. Like, this is, I don't know if you guys have read it or not, but it's one of my favorites. Absolutely love it.
I've read the first issue. That's the only one I've got in it.
Oh, you got to read the whole thing.
Oh,
I'm not even going to spoil it for you, but
It's one of the top Superman stories ever done.
yes.
It really is.
I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
Oh, read it. Read it. If you love Superman, you got to read it. It's so
Yeah,
good.
and the art is everything about that is so good.
Yep. And it's a one-off story, so this isn't like part of continuity or anything, which is why it works so well. It's just a standalone Superman story, and that's why what happens in this book is acceptable. And and it's great though. And it stays so true to who Superman is, which is what I really love about it.
Yeah.
So that's what I got.
Awesome. So before we go, let everybody talk about their channels, what you may have just recently done or have coming out soon. And let's just start with Tony, and we'll go clockwise, end on me.
Sure. We are continuing the newcadia.com challenge. Tim is actually moving on to the next round, and he's taking on Lady Fantastic. But before that, we have Discovery Bay versus a mystery guest. And that's kind of what I got going on right now. Doing some edited videos, panels of the Keystone episode 1, the pilot. It's coming out shortly, as soon as I can get my editing skills down. But other than that, that's all I got.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So try to keep it on the DL. Yeah.
All right. So I've just got kind of the usual going on. I got my unboxings that we do on Tuesday nights. Do this on Saturday nights. I do have one interesting thing coming up here soon. And of course, I'll be getting back to my Green Lantern collection, showing off more of that soon. But I do have one interesting thing coming up. It's not DC related, but it's I just got a package in the mail, and I'm expecting a second one next week from a buddy of mine, an author of horror comics at Antarctic Press, Bradley Golden. And he's actually going to be joining me on the show for the unboxing of what he sent me there. We're going to have a lot of fun. So it's, again, it's not DC related, but it's a really great set of stories. It's this new horror universe in comics. And so I've talked about it a few times before, but I got some really nice stuff to open up, and he's going to join me for it.
Awesome.
Very cool. I'll definitely be tuning in for that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
On to you, Russ. What do you got?
Well, I've been doing the February video a day. Today's video was the A-OK that I got that Booster Gold in, along with some awesome Silver Age books. Tomorrow's video will be a Banpresto statue review. And Monday, I've got some books coming in from Midtown I'll do.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been watching all three of your guys' stuff. Mystery Men's been super fun.
Yeah.
The very first person to open a box last week and how that all went. Don't want to
Oh my
spoil
God!
it for...
Did you believe that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Don't want to spoil it for anyone who wants to go check out. I think that's episode 3 of Mystery Men.
3, yeah, on my channel.
I just binged all of Russ's videos today and yesterday. They're all fantastic. I mean, a lot of variety too.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then I just watched part 3 of Tony's. I don't know what you would call it, like
Tournament.
Who got the best books? Yeah, who got the best books tournament? And that was a good one too. Nothing against.
It was the first ever tie. It was the first ever tie.
Yeah, I feel Metarog was wronged in that, but Dan did have a really good book. So,
it dates back to the very first episode of that show.
Yeah,
wronging that has been done.
I don't think anybody's been beat. I don't think anybody's been beat as bad as you, Dave.
That's
all
true.
one vote.
There hasn't been as big of a margin loss as the first episode.
It was bad.
Oh man.
Who knows? Maybe karma's coming around this next one for him.
Yeah, I might get beat down by
Lady Fantastic finds the deals for sure. She sure does.
I think out of everyone I've seen, and honestly, I'd probably not want to go up against her. Because she pulled out one heck of a one book. So it's like, I have no idea what's going to happen. Is she going to get another crazy book? Is she going to come with a whole array?
I can't say who the next mystery guest is, but it's going to be a battle of the Titans. So this one's going to be the death of Superman. Whoever wins. This is going to be epic. This is going to be, I expect a big time brawl for sure. And you won't know who the mystery guest is until I press the button to bring him into the show.
Oh, that's cool. I can't wait.
It's going to be fun. I wish it was going to be like some super duper celebrity, like, hey, here's Keanu Reeves. Wouldn't that be something? Like Keanu Reeves on the show?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's going to be Keanu.
It's going to be, yeah. I'm just playing it real cool. It's Keanu Reeves. I'm the only person who just happened to get Keanu Reeves on my 260 count YouTube channel.
He's like, whoa, why do I have like 10,000 people in here?
Yeah.
Right? Subs are going through the roof. I went from 260 to 8,000 in about 5 minutes.
Alrighty, well, does anyone have anything else before we go?
I think you have to go pick someone up, Tim.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to rush out because she said I had a little time. So, but definitely, thank you for coming on, Russ. It was good to have you on.
It was awesome, man. It was a blast. Sorry
I
I
don't
missed
know.
last time.
Oh, it's all right. I don't know. I think
You just
we're
owe us a
planning
show.
on we're doing all of the Superman run, aren't we, Dave? I don't know if we're taking a break between sections.
I don't know. We got to discuss that. Yeah.
So I mean,
next.
So I mean, if when we do the next parts, we'll definitely let you know if you want to come on, Russ.
All right.
So
Cool.
and anyone in the chat, anyone watching later, thank you for watching. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next week, guys. Wait, before we go, we're on Dave next week, right?
I think
Yes. Yes.
So we'll be on Comic Food 2814 next week,
yes.
and we'll see you next time, guys.
All right. See ya.
Peace.
And